My guest today is Arthur Chang. Arthur is the CEO of Pantera Networks, a seasoned technology leader and innovator in business communications and AI-driven customer engagement. With a career spanning Bell Labs to multiple tech company turnarounds and IPOs, he's known for developing industry-first solutions that combine deep technical expertise with business practicality. Today at Pantera, he leads the development of Streams AI, a fully integrated communications and contact center platform built for long-term scalability and customer centricity. Thanks so much for joining me today, Arthur.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am thrilled to have you here. This is a topic that I don't either we haven't touched on it or it's been quite a while. So I'm so glad that you are here with me. I'm wondering if you could share with us what are some of the key communication challenges that you see small businesses facing today and how can they overcome them?
I think one of the biggest challenges today for small companies, or and really companies in general, is productively engaging with people. And that means their customers, their employees, and their partners. And that really still today remains one of the biggest challenges.
So I totally agree with you on that. I think that is absolutely true. What do we need to do to flip that so that we are engaging more effectively with all of those
I think
constituencies?
I think from a technology point of view and a solutions point of view, the biggest um, benefit that small businesses can gain is through the use of complete communication solutions, or what we call all-in-one multi-channel solutions. So if you think about it, how many times have you gotten an email of a timing critical event that it was in your stack of 50 emails and you missed the event because email is not a time critical channel of communications. And so when you only have one or two channels of communications, they typically are not used effectively or efficiently. And so when you have a more multi-channel, all-in-one solution, such as Streams.ai, each channel can be used in its most effective manner. For timing critical, you can use messaging and texting, and for less time critical and more content full, you can use email and other channels. So I think that's one of the most important things is to utilize these multi-channel all-in-one communication solutions.
Yeah, boy, I totally get that. And it feels to me like that increases productivity too, because people aren't going in and out of different,
Correct.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the role that AI plays in this because there's a lot of discussion around AI and customer service and how small businesses can actually utilize that without losing their authenticity. So, what do you think?
Yeah, and I think, we at Pantera, we take a gradual approach to AI, kind of a crawl, walk, run approach. And really that's because, especially in small business, you can't have the effect of like hallucinations in AI can really damage a small business's reputation, even one or two, and all of a sudden it gets spread on social media that the company that's using AI is not using it appropriately or effectively. So we use an approach, and we really recommend to our customers, try more narrow approaches to artificial intelligence and get your feet wet first in, say, an AI receptionist or an AI support agent, where you can really define exactly what the response of the AI agent is going to be or the receptionist is going to be. And you can pretty much eliminate the opportunity for hallucinations and other side effects that are negative with respect to AI. So we always want the customer to have the most positive response to the technologies that we deliver. And that's why we use much more of a sort of a crawl, walk, run approach to AI.
Okay, I love that. I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think that that's easier for small business owners, right? Instead of diving into the deep end, just taking it as a process and checking it out and getting used to it and seeing what works and doesn't work and
Right.
then modifying it.
And that's always been, I think, the approach small businesses take is they're much more pragmatic. The very large Fortune 500, they're always going to be steeped in looking at technology 5 years and 10 years ahead. But the small business, they don't have that luxury of a 100-person forward-looking research arm. They have customers today. They want to engage with those customers today. And they can do that through AI, but in a much more kind of gradual approach is what we promote.
I got it. And this leads me to automation. I'm curious about how you think automation could improve like sales and support workflows for those small teams.
Yeah, I think that's the gradual approach is through sales and support agents, AI-based agents that have been loaded in their LLM models with narrow but deep content. So, we, for example, at Pantera have Luna, which is an AI receptionist.
Okay.
And Luna can take the place of a human receptionist to a point. It has an ability to sense, to interpret context and respond instantly. Customers that implement Luna their customers will never get a busy signal. Luna will always answer the phone no matter what the workload is. It can be customized per location for location specific content and location specific scheduling, like holidays, for example. And Luna can always answer questions that their customers might call in or route them to the correct end group, like support or sales or billing, in a much more efficient and effective manner than, say, a limited number of humans could do it. But it also can route to a human operator if it has a sense that the sentiment of the call is kind of what would say going south.
Thank goodness, right? Okay. I'm curious about, well, I have a couple of questions going on in my head. Uh,
Sure.
let's go with, so if a small business owner is trying to choose their communication tools, platforms, whatever, what are certain things that they should be considering when they're making that decision?
Well, I think the reliability of the service and the quality of the service, how it's delivered. And I think one of the most important things, besides obviously the feature, content, and capabilities and the technology that's being used, I think especially for small and medium-sized businesses, one of the most important factors is how engaging is the company, the vendor. Are they trying to push you off to a website for FAQs? Is there virtually no human interaction? There still needs to be human interaction in the sales process. And more importantly, once the sale is made, and the support and the servicing of that customer during the lifetime of them using your product. So the engagement level of the company is, I think, an important aspect to determining who you want to partner and do business with.
Boy, I love that. And it leads me to another question. And I teach um, how to not look at things through like customer service, but through customer experience. So I'm
Right.
wondering if you would share with the listeners, what is the difference between customer engagement, because you've used that, a couple of times, and customer service, and why does that really matter in your estimation?
Yeah, I think customer engagement is an evolution of customer service. The typical, I think, understanding or definition of customer service is it's a reactive service. In other words, you wait till the customer contacts you, the company, and then you react to the issue or you react to the problem, and you try to solve that problem. It's been traditionally done that way for years and years and years. So it's not that it's a horrible way to do business, but a more efficient and effective and a more evolving way is where customer engagement of the customer is used. And that's a more proactive approach where you're proactively touching your current customers and your prospective customers and trying to feel out what are their issues, what are their challenges, so that you can help them in a more proactive way.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Talk to me about um, security and compliance issues when using digital communications. Like, what are some of the things that businesses need to keep in mind?
Yeah, there are a lot of security and standards that are out there, whether it's HIPAA for health divisions or health organizations, or GDPR for storage and data storage organizations, or PCI for financial information security. So, if you're in one of those organizations or market areas, those are some of the key um, um, security and compliance standards to be looking for. But the other thing is end-to-end encryption in the communication path. So that ensures security and safety as well. So these are some of the things that we promote and we support in the Streams.ai platform.
So, speaking of the Streams AI platform, can you explain to the listeners the all-in-one aspect of Streams AI? Like, what does it include? What does it encompass?
Sure. So Streams.ai is a multi-channel all-in-one solution. So it provides obviously the PBX, the call and the call routing capability, and can route calls intelligently and automatically through Luna AI, the AI receptionist.
Okay.
But it also includes other real-time channels such as messaging. So we have team rooms that can support the capability of individually one-on-one messaging as well as group messaging and team room messaging, and they can do it in with multimedia capability, so they can upload documents and PDFs and so forth into those team rooms. It also supports a video conferencing platform that has AI capability built in that'll do automatic summarization and captioning of the video conferencing, and you can use that video conferencing for one-on-one video conferencing, or team video conferencing, or even webinar video conferencing. It also has the fully seamless support of SMS messaging as well as its internal messaging capability. So we give you multiple channels so that it allows you to use them in each one of their most efficient and effective manner. And then we also provide companies full contact center capability, so they can do full AI contact, inbound and outbound sales agents or support agents to assist in their selling of their products and supporting of their customers.
So it sounds like somehow there's a CRM included in that.
Yeah,
David?
the CRM, we support external third-party CRMs, whether it's Salesforce or NetSuite or Oracle. So we don't provide our own CRM. We integrate and interface to whatever the customer. One of the key things about being a multi-channel customer engaging business solution is you have to be able to integrate into customers' existing ecosystems. And so we provide standard APIs to do that, to access other third-party CRMs or other third-party billing systems, for example. We also provide a development sandbox called App Designer, which allows our customers to build custom communications applications that interface not only with our platform, but other third-party platforms.
So thank you so much for that. So if there's a small business owner listening, and there is, um, and they're thinking to themselves, okay, I need to really look at this because we've just got so many different programs that we're dealing with, and it's feeling disjointed. What are some of the things they can be looking at internally, like before they go doing their research to figure out what's the best solution for them? Are there things that they need to be considering that are happening internally in their company, like, how they're doing things? Is there some sort of process or, question list they can go through?
Our sales team has checklists and survey questionnaires that we can provide for our prospective customers. But it's really, as you pointed out, it's just sort of taking the time to take stock of what's working and what isn't working. What channels are they using, and how effective do they believe those channels are, and where do they see the hot spots? Where do they see those challenging voids in how they communicate? And then go look for a solution, and more importantly, a vendor that's going to listen to them, going to probe and ask the right questions so that they can provide the best solution. Every company is different. Yeah, there are some general basic capabilities that are necessary, but I think one of the most attractive things about Pantera is that we listen. We listen to our customers. We listen to our prospective uh, clients and prospects, and we really try to tailor our solution to what they're looking for, not try to mold them into what our solution has.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big thing. And is there a minimum size of business that this works really well for, or does it not matter?
So our metric that we look for are businesses that want to grow, businesses that want to succeed, which is really every business's mantra. So from that perspective, there really is no size limitation, small or large, for our solution, and that they should look for that. That should be one of the things they look for. The key again is how much time, energy, and effort does the company devote to trying to solve their problem? Are they just a number? Are they just sent to a website to fill out a form? Or does the company really want to engage? As we've talked about throughout this podcast, customer engagement.
Yeah.
And that's not only in the product, but it's in the company itself.
Absolutely. And I feel like what the listeners, the companies need to be thinking about is really how are they currently engaging with their customers and their prospects? And could they be doing it more efficiently and more effectively so that their customers are feeling that same thing that I hear from you, that they're, listening and helping problem solve and those sorts of things. And sometimes we can think that we've got that all figured out, but we're not looking at it from the customer's point of view. And
Yeah, and
right?
customer engagement. I know I sound like a broken record, but customer engagement to this point has sort of been reserved for the contact center only functionality, and we at Pantera and with Streams.ai have really embraced customer engagement as for engaging all people, whether it's customers, employees, making employee to employee engagement much more effective and efficient, and engagement with customers or with your company's partners, your own vendors, and other partners that you use. So it's all about listening
Yeah.
and engaging.
Yeah. Yeah, so key. I am so grateful for you joining me in this conversation and sharing this information. It's so important. I'm a huge advocate for really engaging and connecting internally and externally so that people feel that they are contributing to something that is really meaningful. So thank you so much, Arthur. Will you tell the listeners how they can find you, how they can learn more about StreamSet AI?
Yeah, we'd love them to come and visit our website and engage with us through the website, www.panteranetworks.com. And we'd love to have you. And I appreciate the time and the energy that you put into this podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you. And listeners, thank you. You are who we're doing this for.